I don't know why, but you are watching the Madness Comic Network. Are you mental?
Y'all know it's a legitimate question. You know it is. I mean, you got to have a screw or two loose to come hang out with us because we are all taco. We're all taco. Doug Marcaida, welcome to the show, my friend. Look, I mean, there's some people out there for you need no introduction. Okay. There's other people that are like, who's this guy? Because some of us just don't pay attention to the History Channel, bro. I'm as much as I love edged weapons, I've never watched this show. I'm not gonna lie to you, okay? Yeah. And so I have questions about the show because I've never seen it. And we're gonna get into that a little bit. For those of you who don't know, Doug is a judge on the History Channel series Forged in Fire. And he knows a little something, like Lori, about blades and edged weapons. And we're gonna dive in and out of this dude's mind all night long. We got a few different things to talk about. He's got a comic, yo. I know that's why y'all here. Y'all want to see the comic. We're going to talk about that. But first, I have a couple of early Doug questions. Okay.
Fire away.
I heard you explain to Lori the other day that edged weapons were something you didn't want anything to do with. Right? Which, face your fears, you went out and did something with them and learned about them. And lesson to everybody, face your fears, man. Truly face your fears. What was that like when you finally broke through that and felt comfortable with an edged weapon in your hand?
It was so empowering. For so long, I felt like I missed out on so many things because of an unfounded fear. You know, I was basing my fears on something that happened to me when I was young. And now looking at it from an adult point of view, it wasn't the item that it wasn't the blade that was bad. It was a situation I put myself in that was bad. It wasn't, you know, the act itself that was bad. It was everyone around it and the way I was receiving it from that point of view in a different time. So when you start to review things from a different perspective, from even from a perspective where you're looking at it and you're detached because you're going through memories, right? Then you realize there's nothing but fear, which is false expectations appearing real. A lot of times when we face our fears, we develop monsters, not actual monsters that are in front of us, but monsters that we create for ourselves.
Right.
So that was the most empowering thing, that when I realized I can conquer anything, I can do that to everything else that held me back in my life.
Well, you know, there's a couple of things when I was young that coincide with that. Okay. First, one of the things I learned when I was in my early teens was that, and I learned this from a group setting, that basically nobody can make me feel anything if I don't allow them to make me feel something, right? It's like I'm the one that's in control of that, okay? And I learned that at an early age, and that kept me out of a lot of crap, if you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean. Know. I learned that at a later stage in life. When I was young, I played the blame game. It's their fault. They made me angry. They did this, they did that. And then later on you realize, no, I assign meaning to what they did. There's only one person I can only control myself. So that's what I learned. But later on in life teaches you lessons.
And the other thing, I read the book Dune when I was about 12. And right in the beginning, the Ben Gesserit creed, the fear is the mind killer, fear is the little death that obliterates. You know, I mean, it's like, oh man, that hit so hard with me right at that age. It was like, man, if I just face it and let it pass over me, pass through me, it'll be behind me and I'll still be moving forward. And I gained that from reading a book when I was a teenager. So I'm going to ask you, being as how you're a creator of a comic series, who is your favorite author?
Here's one thing I found about myself. My ADHD is so bad, I cannot read and sit there and read for a long time. I easily get distracted. I can listen to books on tape.
Okay.
But I do not read because, and it's one of my shortcomings. I found out, well, also, I was never read to when I was a kid. We couldn't afford books. It was not a habit that I was read to. As a parent, I started reading to my boys. But what I found was when I'm reading these children's books, I would change the story because my ADHD couldn't just stick with the same thing of what was written all the time. I had to get out of it and I had to recreate and use imagination with the pictures. Now, my boys loved it, but my wife goes, don't do that. Because there is a certain comfort to being read a certain way all the time. They know the story over and over. It's comforting for them. And I'm like, I didn't know this because I didn't understand reading. Now, at my age, I get a children's book every Christmas from my wife to learn the habit of reading. So when we talk about authors, I like to read a lot of psychological books, stuff that interests me in terms of psychology, but I never really am there to, I would glance through it. And then before you know it, my ADHD would take over and I'm like, get me a book on tape. I had a very hard time. Up to this day, I have a hard time reading.
Even with the audiobooks, it's still somebody wrote that story. What's your favorite story?
Gavin DeBecker is one of the authors I follow a lot because The Gift of Fear is a book that he wrote. Being in the martial art world, being in the world that has a lot to do with security tactics, VIP protection, and all that, I listen to him because I read his stuff because it talks about the psychology of violence, the psychology of your sixth sense that we've pretty much, it also related to the martial arts. So I guess if there are books and philosophies that I read, it has to be connected to the world. So Gavin DeBecker's book, A Gift of Fear and 2 Seconds are one of my favorite books that I read because it's like the Bible of personal protection and stuff like that.
Cool. That's where I'm going. I want to learn stuff about you that maybe we didn't learn last week.
Yeah, and I love this. I never been asked those questions. So
well, I got more because you also, being a comic guy, have to have an appreciation for art.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Thank you.
Now I'm going to assume that you love music as well, being a creator. Okay. What is your favorite album cover art?
Ha. Okay.
Wow. Nobody ever asked you that before, huh?
Never. Okay. The first album I got in my childhood was the album I asked for my birthday, and it was The Lost Horizon by Burt Bacharach.
Really?
And the reason of it was because we just saw the movie, and we were a very musical family that we would listen to that. And I never had an album myself. And for my birthday, my mom says, I've saved enough for you to pick one. At that time, we just saw that. So I got that because I was so beautiful. I was just engrossed at the picture of Shangri-La and the idea of Shangri-La in that movie. So that is the most memorable album that I can picture.
And that's cool because, look, my mom was a Burt Bacharach fan too. So I'm assuming that you're getting that from your mom.
Yes, from my family. Yep.
Yes. Okay. So same thing, man. The hand-me-down. I also had older sisters. Okay, so I had the mom that did the Elvis and the Patsy Cline and the Nashville, right? I had a sister that loved the Hendrix, and that's the heavy metal, the metal that was coming out at the time. And I had a sister that loved the folksy Dan Fogelberg and Cat Stevens. And I was getting hit upside the head with all kinds of different music as a kid. Of course, heavy metal won, but
it's what speaks to you, right? I'm eclectic. I listen because I grew up with so many kinds of music, especially in the Philippines at the time. Really, it's a lot of the classics because we pattern all our sounds from what America's going through. So the Carpenters, your regular rock and pop music is what I grew up listening to, and mellow jazz. My family pretty much listened to a lot of mellow things, and I pretty much enjoy that a lot because I didn't realize that there's so much chaos within me that I have to listen to calming music to bring down my energy because I'm spinning at 1,000 RPM all the time. So even when I go work out, I can't listen to fast music to get me energy because I'll explode. So I'm listening to Barry Manilow for Pete's sake. And my friends were like, what the hell? It's funny. So there's a guy called Instructor Zero. If you ever go on YouTube, this guy's amazing with the firearms. So we were colleagues together. And so we're listening to it. And we have a guy who's a tactical guy. He's filming us. So he's listening to Miley Cyrus at the time, what was it? The Wrecking Ball. And we're like, I can't believe this. So he was laughing. I'm like, well, he's listening to Miley Cyrus. This is, special forces guy with gun shooting and everything. He's listening to Miley Cyrus. And he's looking at me, what are you listening to? I'm like, no, you know what? He pulls up, it's Barry Manilow. And I'm like, what? I gotta relax. I'm so highly strung. I need soft music.
See, Lori's up in here. She knows everything you're talking about. See? And she did say that headhunter axe.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. There you go. This is why we're here, folks. We're going to be showing you some cool stuff, but we're also going to be talking about cool stuff.
I tell Lori, I saw the rendition of these guys. This is the other guy making a cameo, and the artist just wow. All I can say is wow. When I saw these guys, the way they're going to be portrayed in the artwork, I'm just blown away. So it's amazing.
Man, and see, that's Mike Barron's another person that's part of our network. Okay. He's what's the word I'm looking for? He's a jiu-jitsu player, Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
And he does comics as well. And he's just like you, talking about how every move has to be real. It has to be something. The hip has to be underneath when dude throws dude under. Okay. Everything has to be legit. Right. And when I heard you talking last week about that, I was like, yes, look, you got to make it beautiful. You got to make it flow, but it also has to be solid and believable. And for people who are martial arts fans, they're not going to be a fan of your comic if it doesn't look legit. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is, guys.
But there's also something to be said that not everybody's a martial artist, right? So people who aren't martial arts, they still appreciate what they see. They just don't know what they're watching. I've learned not to judge from that because I've been in seminars and in group teaching where we tend to, judge people like, they're no good or we're better. You start doing that's not real. Nobody throws a punch like that. But then I found out that's an elitist point of view. That's because our teachers, my teacher, we copy our teacher's mentality. That's not real. That's not going to work in the street. We copy that. And then when you go to the root of what they're saying, it's insecurity. Why would you make judgment on anything that's out there if you were confident? I've met a lot of people who are experts in their field and they're just quiet. They're like, yeah, well, will that work? I can make it work. Or maybe not. It's not for me. But they know their own craft. Why? Because they know that everyone is different. I don't care what you do with what you do. I do what my truth is never going to be your truth. And I will do that this way and do that. So I respect that out of everyone. And I look at, my favorite teacher told me, you should learn from a beginner. Why do you only want to learn from people who are already up there? It's the beginners who ask the true questions because they don't know anything. And they're probably the most dangerous people because they will not punch you the way you expect them to. So that's one of the things I enjoy. That to me is what is truly real. All kinds.
Well, see, and this is the whole thing. It's like there's, when I was a kid, I read a lot. I said that earlier, okay? And one of the first things I learned from reading was that you learn bits and pieces of a lot of different things, okay? If you're into fantasy books, there's going to be a blacksmith in every group. You're going to learn something about blacksmithing. Can you go do it from reading this book? Probably not. but you're going to learn a little bit about it from this guy. And then you're going to read another book from another author's point of view. And you're going to learn a little bit more because that blacksmith was a little smarter and he knew some real stuff. And that guy's actually explaining real stuff to you. And before you know it, you know a little bit about this just from reading fiction. You see what I'm saying? It's like
absolutely. So,
you know,
I learned from videos. I learned from my teachers. It's everything. So people go, well, can you learn from videos? Can you learn from watching people? Absolutely. Oh, it's not authentic. Oh, that's not authentic. Who's the lineage from? Okay, let's go through my teachers and their lineage and the lineage after that. And before that, lineage, by the way, that's the name, right? Lineage. Now we go to the very first guy who's there. Did he come from the heavens, or was he watching animals fight each other? Was he watching goats? Was he watching the grass grow? Somewhere, somehow, some way, they had to make it up. So I applaud a lot of the martial artists that say, I just made it up. I was influenced by this thing that I saw, by that thing that I saw, and I just put it together and I just imagined it, if not experimented, because, you know, the experience is the best teacher. That's why I tell people, don't let anybody tell you can't do it yourself, because everything is self-taught. Everything. Well, no. I had a teacher. Oh, he had a teacher. Well, guess what? His teacher's nothing more than a guide. Who put in the hours to test it? Who was the actual sweating and trying it out and experimenting? Because if it doesn't work, you get hit. But they'll adjust and they'll make it up as they go. One of the top fighters I ever met never studied martial arts. He watched movies, and that's how good he was. But the most dangerous men I studied from who actually have used violence, and I'm talking where they were gangsters and they were not martial artists. That's the scary ones. They know, oh, I don't fight him. Well, I'll ambush him later on. I'll buy him a drink and we'll shoot him. I'll stab him when he's not looking. These are the true gangsters. Do they know martial arts? No. And that's probably why they're the violent ones, because they don't have discipline. They're just true killers. And that's scary. You know, martial artists, we have a discipline, we have respect, we have a gathering with all this stuff, and we never want to use it. I'll guarantee you that. But the dangerous ones, they don't have that discipline.
They don't care.
That's a scary one.
They don't care. Yeah, they don't care at all. This, like, man, I live in a small rural area for the first time in my life. Okay, I lived in South Minneapolis. Yeah, where the whole world's blowing up. I lived in. That's where I was born, actually, Doug. Right there in that neighborhood. But I moved to Phoenix, but I've always lived in a bigger city, you know, where there was always some kind of gang type stuff, right? Always. Okay. Phoenix, maybe not as bad as some places, but it's there if you go to the wrong neighborhood. It's like everywhere else, right?
Yeah.
You make a wrong turn. Oops. You know, you might want to hit reverse real fast. But this is the first time I've ever lived out in the rural. I have not heard a siren or a police chopper.
You have peace.
About 10 years, bro. I love it out here, man.
I love it. Yeah.
This is the peace that you were talking about that I never had my whole life.
Nice.
Now, my problem is that I'm a people person and I miss concerts and football games and all the interaction with big crowds of people and stuff like that. So here I am. I end up here, right? People and still trying to interact with a lot of people, even though as
a matter of fact, you're probably interacting with more people now that you have the cyber world. We are international, right? We can talk to people in different time zones all over the world. I've designed blades with a guy who was in Hong Kong in a couple of hours. I designed a blade with a guy who was in France, and within 6 hours we had a blade made because of the internet.
Blades in a moment. But yeah, we have a show. I've got one of the guys that runs one of the shows on the network lives in Singapore, and he does a show in the middle of the night for us. Yeah, but it's daytime for him and his people over there, right? See, so yeah, we got people in the Netherlands. We got people all over the world in the network.
It's amazing.
This is so much fun, and it, you know, I mean, it started with a little tiny Facebook group, and Emerald City going down.
Wow.
In 2020, when Emerald City went down in 2020, my little Facebook group became a promotional and networking group because all my friends suddenly didn't have a place to set up tables all year.
Mm.
There wasn't going to be no cons all summer long. I started doing a show called CRoM once a month. And I would come out here and I would book guests to a half hour for 3 days straight. All day long. We had people every half hour, different guests. We did that for 39 months straight.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
all
something,
the way
that's passion right there. That's a community that you got there.
Well, yeah, it was because, there was no cons. And then they started coming back and, okay, we don't maybe need this anymore. Let's turn this into a network of shows. And I got all my friends that had shows. And some people like Lori, I was like, will you take this show and do, because she took a show that I was horrible at and made it so much better. Okay. She really did. The Tuesday Morning Brew, the show that you were on with her, is one of the best shows in the network. And when I had it, it was horrible. There's a whole bunch of people just talking.
Is Lori here? Is Lori here?
She's in the chat right there.
Yeah, Lori, guess what? That next day, I called up Jeff out of the blues and I reconnected with Jeff.
There you go.
So that was amazing. We had a lot to catch up on. I mean, so it was awesome. And it was all because of that you brought that in. And I'm like, I miss this guy. So I reached out to him and we had a long chat. It was so nice.
And this is what the madness is all about right there, bro.
You can reconnect. I mean, it's inspiring. That's what I love about, to be able to do that. Before one day you just find out, wow, out of nowhere, I'm like, let me reach out. And we had a great conversation.
It is so cool. Now she has a question for you too, though. Do you ever 3D print blade designs to see how they look before?
We just started doing that. So as soon as 3D printing started coming out, I've designed a couple of blades because my makers were in Italy. So we designed a folder together, the Karambit folder I have called the Tribal K. That was originally sent to me as 3D print. And then this one came to me as a 3D print also. So yeah, that is the way to do it because shipping back and forth takes forever if you can 3D print. So I have a printer. I don't know how to work it. It just, somebody does it for me. But yes, that is the way to go.
That's awesome. Look, this really is what this is all about. What just happened right there. Okay, Lori met you because you guys have a mutual friend. Because you talked to Lori about said mutual friend, you wanted to reach out to that guy because
exactly. It rekindles, it lights up a spark. It's always that 6 degrees of separation, right? Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, I did. He couldn't remember, but so I had to dig up. He goes, no, it's before. So where it had the dragon in it, and he said the House of Dragon or something like that. Then he had, that's the one. That's the one. He goes, wow, that's really way back. I go, yeah, that's right. So it was a great conversation.
This is so awesome. This is what we're doing. All right. So rather than make Lori sit there and type in the chat, I just went ahead and sent her the link. She can come hang out with us if she wants.
Yeah.
We're all one family in the madness.
You got it.
Everybody crosses over their shows. We all have a great time. And yeah, look, I have so many questions. Who, out of all the bladesmiths that you have dropped a judgment on, were you amazed by the most?
Jason Knight.
There we go. We're going
Mastersmith Jason Knight. Now, he was a co-judge on seasons 2, 3, and 4, I think, or 3 and 4, 3, 4, and 5. People don't know that he was a contestant on the pilot. And a lot of things that this was his concept. He used to have something called Metal Mashing Mayhem before they had Fortune Fire. And he approached it. They talked to him. But Jason Knight is one of those makers that has such a big influence. As a matter of fact, we have a MK Ultra cookery. I didn't know what MK Ultra was all about. It's supposed, when I came up with it, when I say it's ultra light, let's call it MK Ultra, dog. Okay, M for Marcaida, K for Knight, Ultra because it's ultra light. He was laughing inside. He goes, that's a CIA pro. I didn't know that until somebody told me what it was. I'm like, So he's a genius. He's very influential. His blades and his designs, but it's who he is also as an artist. We have conversations where we're just all over the place. It's never limited to just knives. We have life stories. We work together. We will be working together on a TV show ourselves. To me, he's one of those brains that you can't keep it to yourself. I'm a storyteller, and I go, Jason, we got to work together. I got to tell the story in your brain, man. You're that genius. That creativity that you have has to be shared because it's inspiring. Hey, Lori, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? I saw you guys, and I had to pop in the chat.
There you go. The more, the merrier.
That's right. Pop sent me the link. I was like, I should probably get up and fix my hair. So.
Well, that was a great thing that happened when you did that. I did reach out to Jeff. I still had it. Well, I didn't have his number anymore. So I went on Facebook and I messaged him. I go, hey, call me. This is my number. And then he says, what was this all about? And then we went down memory lane. So that was awesome.
Cool. He probably can't remember me at all.
Well, he doesn't remember a lot of the group from that time frame anymore. So, but yeah, we talked a lot about the times when we were together, and we talked about how we lost contact. It's not like I was saying, it's not that we just didn't care for each other or love each other anymore. It's just that out of sight, out of mind. They thought you're on your own journey now. You're busy with the show. I'm busy also too, and everything else. And that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, it is. My best friend in Phoenix, I moved away, and we're not on the golf course together. We're not doing this together anymore. And the bond, I still love dude, but
it's the whole thing. Out of sight. If you're out of sight, we always say we'll connect on the internet. No, we don't. Even I'll call you online. We don't, unless we are actively on a project or doing things that have to connect us. So you have to stop and say, well, who really matters to me? And a lot of times, unfortunately, it's something that we have to see in front of us. Because I love a lot of my friends. I love a lot of my family members. But if I don't see them, I'm too busy with the ones that I do see. Mm-hmm. That's why time, when you give it, is the most precious gift we ever have. People go, I have nothing to give you. Well, I'm giving you my time. That's the most expensive thing that I can afford to give to you. So enjoy the present that we have. This is the most important thing we're doing right now with each other, that we're giving to each other right here.
It's the most valuable thing you have, guys. Those minutes go by. You don't get them back.
They're right.
Gone forever.
Forever.
Look, the older you get, the more you realize how valuable time is.
Yep.
I'm feeling that, especially today, because today is my birthday. So.
Oh, happy birthday! Look at that.
Thank you. I know, and like another year older, and I'm feeling all the feels today. And
she's counting down the last 20 hours of her campaign.
Yeah.
So.
no emotion at all, right? Not.
Oh wow.
Or anything.
It's awesome. Look, I definitely, man, I'm still a little bit fanboying, I ain't gonna lie. And I told you, it's not from watching the show, it's from who you are.
Yeah.
Okay? It's seriously from who you are and the things that I've learned about you in the last week. And I did a little digging. I ain't gonna lie, I did a little digging.
You've been watching America's Most Wanted again, I see. Okay. So they got rid of that episode.
I was like, I reached out to Jeff and I was just like, I'm a big fan. Like, can I get Jeff, can I get Doug on the show? And he was like, sure. And then it's like, I watch all the TikToks, I watch all the reels, and I'm watching the Coffee with Doug in the morning. And gosh, and just being able to talk to you is so great. And I also want to say that a lot of the deadliest martial arts that I know, the martial artists, I'm messing up already, they're all super friendly and smiley, and people have no idea how dangerous these people are. And I feel like you fall into that category where you're just so pleasant and nice to talk to, but gosh, you can do a lot of damage.
Well, but see, you disarm a lot of people by being nice too.
That is actually a strategy.
Yes.
That is because in the weapons art, you need distance to be able to use your weapon. right? Or your tool. So if I'm already like, if my hands are up like this, you know my intention. If I am standoffish like this, you're not gonna walk up to me because you know my guard is up or there's something wrong. But if I'm smiling and I walk up to you, you let me into your circle. Bam. So that is why a lot of the street strategies we have is be careful for people who are smiling. There's a reason they're smiling. There's a reason they're confident. They're packing. That's why they're confident. There's a reason they let you into their circle, their energy, because they need to be able to get up to you. It's the ones that are very guarding and everything else. Those are the ones who are not sure of themselves. So be careful. The smiley one, yeah, they're even this was, as a matter of fact, one of Jeff. I remember Jeff telling us, in a room, look at the quiet ones.
Yeah.
They're the ones who know what's the confident ones. Don't look at the quiet, the loudest person talking and everything else. He's insecure. He's trying to ruffle feathers there because he's not sure of himself. Look at those that aren't. Those are hiding within and blending in with the room. Those are the dangerous ones. Yes. Once again, Gavin de Becker's book tells you about those things.
The ones with their backs to the wall, taking in the whole room, are the ones you need to just leave alone.
Yeah.
So smiley and hi, how you doing?
Everybody's so if you're in a room full of those guys, everybody's like I'm here first. I'm here first. Why is there a long line? Oh, that's the line to the people who want their backs to the wall.
I always was told too, like you gotta not only the smiley people, but the ones that are smiling and smell like perfume, because that means their blades are poisoned. And I was like, yeah, we're not gonna mess with those people.
That's funny. That I did have a Chris from Indonesia that did smell and used to be poisoned, but it had a very floral scent to it too, made of meteorite. So yeah,
I have a Chris as well. I do. I know those are, but it was like I was always taught the karambits were the ones that were poisoned because there was more like an assassin's blade, no, because they hide them and they're so easy to.
I think anything can be depending on what group or tribe you're with.
You're right.
But most of them don't really practice it that way. Because a lot of times it's the crude weapons that are poisoned, not the ones that have all, it's how you care for it. And as a matter of fact, one of the ways to tell is how it is encased. So some of the blades I had an opening in the front, not on top.
Yeah.
And that's where they would lace it. But in the end, really, it's overkill.
True. I mean, you're already getting into the artery. I mean,
the blade is gonna do the work, right?
I guess you can just nick them and then keep going, and then.
Yeah, but more so that's been found is they will end up nicking themselves.
Yeah,
more than they would nick somebody else, and it happens all the time.
The ones that are missing their fingers, right?
Well, if they don't train with their blades, so if they say they train with their blades, it's got all this. If it's an ambush, they'll get away with it. If it's fighting against someone with a weapon, I don't think it'll work, because if they don't have a replica of that very blade, the same weight that is sharp that they're allowed to train with, they will cut themselves because they have no point of reference in training. When you use a trainer, you're constantly hitting yourself and it doesn't leave a trace. You don't know that. I found this out when we were doing demonstrations, live blade, because my teachers wanted that. And everybody's doing live blade. And when we're done, we're like full of cuts. And we don't know what's going on. It just happened over and over. Why? Because we weren't used to using real blades. We did trainers. And trainers, you can slash against yourself. Nothing happens. And you don't know the difference. So there is something to be said for that.
Anxiety from moving, for me at least, when we moved from a trainer to a live blade, I was just like, oh my God, like, I'm going to kill myself. You're right. Like the weight is different.
Oh my God.
You are what you train.
So think about that when you're wielding an untested weapon on Forged in Fire.
And I was like, it sounds like
you're not cutting the air. You're supposed to decapitate something. So there's an amount of velocity and strength that you're going to do on something when you're testing it. Yeah. Every time it scared me.
I would probably like stretch and then take off my own leg.
I
was going to volunteer to come on as your sidekick last week. We ran out of time. I was going to be like, hey, if you ever want a woman to come, Yeah, be your sidekick. I volunteer. And then I was
Here,
like, well,
hold
I'll
the
probably
apple
kill
this
myself.
way.
Yeah, I'll pick
Have
up
you seen
George's head afterwards.
have you seen her, Doug, do her little slice and dice?
Yeah. Yeah, I
You know,
kill things in my backyard.
as much as it is very fun, it is dangerous.
Yeah.
Scary, dangerous.
Yeah, I'm sure it
She
is.
did-
Well, I mean, what he does, not what I do. It's a
Well,
watermelon.
Wait a
But
minute, now, hold
see,
up. I want to say, Lori gets out there with an untested saw blade on a baseball bat and
yeah, that's
starts
true. I did do that.
Yeah, okay, so she
I'm
takes
a
a little
professional,
risk.
It's okay. It was a chainsaw. It's fine. But it's not like these are super sharp
No,
blades,
I know what he's doing. The people that
Yeah.
are making those blades are Jesus.
My favorite is though when it's like the pig, the half a pig, like that's for real. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Hi, Andrea.
We forget we forget what weapons are made for.
Yes.
Yeah, well, they're shopping stuff up, mostly people.
Do they
Yeah.
stink? Do they stink
Who's
after a day of filming? The pig carcass? They're smelly.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
in the beginning, we didn't know what we were doing, so we didn't have a cooler. So yeah, that's why we never gave the pigs out. I mean, and here's the thing: pigs will turn into leather. So in the beginning, that's why some people. There's one episode where I'm wielding a claymore and it bends, right?
Yeah.
And people were saying, well, you hit on the side. I didn't hit with the side because we really, one thing is because it's a money thing. There are lawyers and we look at everything. It has to be fair. Now that particular sword, for as long as it was 1.5 pounds. That's impossible.
What?
So it was very flexible and light. I mean, we could hold it with one hand. So when you cut into the pig at that angle, it was not sharpened. Didn't have the mass. And the pig was almost like leather.
Yeah.
And so when it hit, it didn't cut all that kinetic energy. You had to transfer somewhere, so it rolls. Now, and then of course the next sword that we had was heavy but sharp, and it was perfect. But there was a time when I did another test, and the skins were getting like leather. And this time, we were testing it and cutting. It wouldn't cut. It with a sharp sword, it wouldn't cut.
It's just been out too long in the air.
Yes, it becomes leather, and leather can also be cut resistant. So it's got to be a certain weight and a certain edge for a sword to be able to cut through that. So now we learned. So that now we have to make sure we the next season we had a refrigerator to put the and of course sometimes we're worried about if they're sitting out too long and the disease that you'll get from those. So yeah. But the wolves love them. The endangered species. We give all the meats and everything else, and they're picked up by a wildlife preservation. So all the animals love it when we test on carcasses.
At least it goes somewhere good. And
Yes, but there was one season that they actually asked us, "Hey, could you do more ballistic dummies instead, or fish or something else?" Because why? Our wolves are getting fat. So
well fed.
slow down on that.
Another target.
Yeah. I have a question too, but go ahead. I know I came in and I just took over.
No, I know you didn't have enough time with him last week.
I mean,
know you did.
Well, this is what I talk about comics and martial arts. It's the two things I could talk about all day.
Yes, and like you said, I knew you didn't get enough time with him last week. I'll share my spotlight.
Thank
I
you.
ain't afraid.
I wanted to know if there was ever a time on the show where a weapon malfunctioned and it was dangerous. Like you go to slice and it either shattered or
all the time.
It felt like sometimes the tank.
Oh yeah.
So can hurt you.
That's why when we say there's a vote of no confidence, that's when the weapons come back, and the producers see the weapon and there's already concern because they saw the way it was made. They know the limitations. Some are not glued or something's rattling. So they bring it up to us judges and we examine the weapon and we say, no, there's a vote of no confidence. We're not going to risk ourselves because what happens there is I'm always first to go because I'm the kill test. When I get to do that and we already have a vote of no confidence, if I have to hold back because I'm not sure about this blade, that's not fair anymore. If it's too heavy and I have to put extra to make it work, That's not fair anymore. Just because the other guy did all the right things, I have to put extra effort on this. We already know this is not going to make it if I have to do extra things to make it work. So there have been several episodes where we say this is too dangerous for us to even test. Not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
So it happens a lot.
A lot.
Yes. Well, not a lot, but I'd say it has happened several times where we will not test it for that. And we've had blades explode on us and break on us because there's just no way to tell how they were tempered or the hidden cracks. And they've bounced off on our judges. Why in the strength test where you have to put a lot of things that mostly will destroy it, the judges have to wear armor underneath, something like that. So
yeah, I was wondering if there's like a sheet of ballistic glass or like
no, not that. No, we just angled everything away from the Smiths and us when we're standing there.
I see them put glasses on, but I was like, really?
Yeah.
I guess protect your eyes, but what? Take your skull off, and that's cool too. Like, my eyes are safe, and there's just a blade.
Yeah, exactly. Some sticking at you, right?
Yeah.
It's awesome. So yeah, I'm over here. I got your buddy Jeff in my inbox, and we're talking about booking other guests. You see what happens when we get shows going. This is what happens. The inbox blows up every time, and our boy in the chat over there, he'll tell you the same thing, Dustin. As soon as I start a show, people start calling me.
Yes, that's me too. It's always Tuesdays, right? There's a show and everybody wants like, oh, I saw you and I want to come on the show. That's how it goes. Ray has a question.
Ray? Ray. It's DM Ray. What's up, buddy?
Says, have you ever seen a blade after the episode that has a story to it? What do you mean exactly, Ray? Like they're making the blades on the show.
Yeah, they make the blade there. So, he's saying, did a blade or did a blade earn its own story after being created on your show?
Oh, the Headhunter one for sure. I really had to go watch that episode after you talked about it.
I guess there are some blades that we'll say have deeper meaning because how it performed. Probably we'll talk about, hey, do you remember that weapon that performed this way, or it cut this way, or it did that? But for the most part, every blade is pretty much just put away to rest when it's done. The sad part.
You don't take them home, or
no? The network owns all of the weapons.
Oh my gosh! Do they just have like a museum?
Is dropping the ball.
Pretty much.
Okay, so the network is dropping the ball on this because you're designing blades they could be using in shows.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just
so what happens is the winners, we pretty much buy the blades from them. They get a $10,000 prize for it, and we keep the blades. And then the blades are dulled and they're put and displayed on our walls during the season. Okay. The loser, he gets to keep his weapon.
See, if I run the network, though, I run the network and I own these blades now. I'm going to be incorporating them into shows. The design.
I know. I know. We don't know where they are. The problem with this is, you could use them. They're really, because they're real. They're real. They're not replicas.
I mean the design. I would take that design that guy created on Forge and Empire, and I would put it in a movie somewhere.
Well,
that's just it. You could probably put it in a movie as a display, but you got to remember, movies, they're props.
Yeah.
And props cannot be real. You could make a mistake for somebody picking it up, thinking it's a prop and killing, because even dull steel will kill.
That's what I'm saying. You make something based on the design.
Yeah, based on the but the designs we have pretty much. Well, the designs we have are taken from history already. So it is already a replica of something from history. It's just their version of it.
Y'all need to do a Star Trek episode where everybody makes.
We tried to do it.
Designing blades.
We tried to do it, but it's licensing. Licensing. So we asked Star Trek if we could do the Bat'leth, and they wouldn't let us do it. So and sometimes it costs too much to try to license to make the replica of it on the show.
They're dropping the ball. Everybody's dropping the ball. This would be stuff Trekkies would love that. If there was a Forged in Fire episode based on Klingon weapons. Holy crap! Man, that would
well, no, we've tried, and some will not allow us to license it. So
that's crazy.
That's weird. You would think they would want the exposure, but oh well.
Yeah.
And you're paying for the license. It's not like
there's a lot in showbiz that doesn't make sense. I will say that. We have so many ways. Well, would it be great to do this? You know, there was a time when I was saying, well, wouldn't the network want to have its own Fortune Fire magazine or a Fortune Fire page where the community talks about it? It's just great for the show. Nah, I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
It really is. There's a lot of things that just don't make sense.
What is this?
That's showbiz.
Ray says you made a two-handed sword for your best man's Scottish wedding. And I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that name in Gaelic because it's probably like Kieran. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Who knows how you pronounce that? Which is almost in your own comic. That's super cool. I didn't know you made weapons. Is it just like a dull blade? Right? That would be super cool. I'm full of surprises, he says.
Well,
I need to see pictures of it, and I need to hear you pronounce that name because, yeah, we're not going to do it.
we try to be full of surprises, too. That's why we have a comic network, and every now and then we bring somebody out that you would think had nothing to do with comics, and lo and behold, dude's got a freaking comic, man.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? This is why we're here, guys. We are here to promote Lineage. And we're going to let, actually, I want to play the video first, if that's okay. And then we're going to let you, pitch your book to our people, bro.
All right. Fire away.
Here we go with a little bit of love from Lineage.
Previously on Lineage.
Every blade has a story to tell. And last year, I introduced you to this, the Marcaida. And with your support, you helped crowdfund the first issue of its story, Lineage. It's a story about a father and his two sons trained with a blade and their mysterious connection to a cult.
The first issue was just an appetizer to introduce the main characters and the Marcaida blade, but now we're going to get to the meaty stuff.
There's only 3 more issues to go, and issues 1, 2, 3, and 4 will all be compiled together for the first trade paperback.
And we got the same art team coming back, Felix Morales and Raymond Lee.
Issue 2 reunites our brothers as they are now flying to the Philippines to look more into what's going on. And as they get there, they will discover some more shocking reveals and fight some more wild-looking bad guys.
Thank you to everyone who came out, who grabbed the comic books, who shared what they thought of this series so far. Your support, just by pre-ordering the comic book and the trade paperback, will motivate us to finish strong and reach out to other folks who want to see more of this.
We have so much more story to tell, and we cannot wait to write issue 4. I'm telling you, issue 4 is going to be wild.
It is in your hands.
Believe me, the remaining issues of Lineage will kill.
Oh, I love it. It will kill. Look, I got something to say. I love this. This is awesome. And if you didn't know, for those of you who didn't know, I'm going to have both those guys on the show here real soon on a Monday Madness episode. So we're going to be talking to your team, bro. That's how I do this. I want to talk to everybody. So tell me a little bit about those guys real quick.
All right. Well, we've got our Patrick and Elsa is the guy who heads Kid Heroes, and he brought together the team, the writers of Earl Bailon and Justin Keyson. And those guys pretty much allowed me to take my story and make it flow nicely, right? They were able to bring it to the modern day and add on things that allow the story to really flow. Because when I wrote it, there were places, a lot of times I'd look at it and go, oh, how convenient. I need this in the story, so it just happens to fall that way. Well, that's not the way life goes, right? So they were able to add things to make it feel right, that this is plausible. It happens and it makes sense. And that's what I want. Because if it doesn't have a good story, it's just a bunch of artwork. So for me, story is the most important thing. So having these guys get in there and the dialogue we have really helps. Then we have our artist, Ray Melita has amazing cover art. And with Felix Morales, not only does he know the culture, but man, the thing. So I even found out more Easter eggs that he puts in the comic book. I didn't know they were there. And because when I talk about the story and how it's meaningful to me from my life, from my culture, and the way I look at the metaphors of martial arts, I bring that into a comic book that's already done, and I see new things again, all over again. Why? Because I look at things from a different point of view. So that's why I always say, always look back with a different set of eyes and appreciate what those eyes are telling you, because you're looking at it from a point of view that maybe something happened today that will affect the way I think. And I look at something yesterday with angry eyes. I look at something with curious eyes. I look at more forgiving eyes. I will always see something new. That's what I'm starting to see with Lineage. Right now, to tell everybody here, I'm telling you right now, this is why crowdfunding and what crowdfunding was meant to me. When I was presented this as a first comic book, my plan was to simply see and test if I'm a storyteller and see if people were interested. Well, I already knew they would be, because this is a story I've been working on for 15 years. It's from my teachers, handed down to me, from my colleagues, my peers, fireside chats and everything else. And because we're storytellers, when we train, we actually keep on making it better. Well, what if it happened this way? Oh, that's a way. So I already knew it was a great story. But I went the crowdfunding way because I wanted to give something back. Pops, we're on our last, quarter of our life. What are we going to do with it? Well, for me, it's about sharing everything that made me shine, And part of that are my stories. So when I did this, I wanted to write this for my great-great-grandkids that I'll never meet. But then later on, I go, you know what? If you're going Kickstarter, your name will be forever engraved in every comic series. You'll always be there. So now your great-great-grandkid will go, you know what? This right here, Doug Marcaida, that's my great-great-grandfather, and he created this. And another person will go, yeah, well, this guy right here, that's my great-great-grandmother, and she was part of this too. So now it's not just my lineage, it's our lineage. But wait, there's more. I'm a knife designer. I'm a weapons trainer. I'm a weapons martial artist. In my comic art, you will see bits and pieces of everything that I have right here. That's the blade that's telling the story. These guys will also be part of making cameos because they're part of the things that we do. These are real. I am teaching the tomahawk again. I'm teaching blade work. I'm teaching karambit work. These are going to be made to be part of Lineage. So now, not only will you get to have something to pass down to your descendants, you'll also have pieces that you can get because you're part of this. So all of a sudden, this is your lineage, our lineage. And I just love that idea. We've got little neck knives that'll come out of it. How cute is that? Right? And you also have little pendants. This is red when it's alive, black when it's dormant. It's a little neck knife. I mean, so I'm almost making it meaningful by adding all these things that are part of the story, because every blade has a story to tell. So now, when you're part of this, this is meaningful to you. What are we going to do with the comic books when we die? Well, let's pass it down to our descendants so that they can look back and say, this is my lineage too, because you're part of it. That's why I love the idea of crowdfunding. Be part of this. Look, and my analogy is this. George Lucas, when he wrote Star Wars, and if there was a Star Wars comic book at those days, did he invite everyone to tell them you will forever be on the comic book of Star Wars? No. Did Steven Spielberg do with any of his stuff? No. Well, I'm telling you right now, I'm giving you a chance to be part of this. This is not about me. I got to leave this behind. Why don't you join me, get your name engraved, and say, I was part of this. That when this becomes the hit series that I know it will be in its inception, I'm already giving you the chance to be part of it. Yes, because we are part of it. Right? I don't want people left behind. Don't look back on this and saying, I had a chance to get my name in those comic books. I'm doing that.
Ian, I still want to talk to you about bringing your show to the network. I ain't forgot about you. Yeah, that's look, the Lineage thing. I have my name in a whole bunch of comics for that reason and others. Okay, I've been parodied. I've been in all of it. Okay.
Yeah. And doesn't that feel great to know that you're part of that you made it happen? And I'm not one to ask something for nothing. I always give back. So I've got all this swag stuff. Like this is a training stick with the Lineage engraved. And this is what we use in Kali when we train with it, by the way, right? There it is, a Lineage, right? And you got the artwork and all. So this is the rattan that we do in training. We've got all these karambits. We've got all, and there'll be trainers because the idea. So issue 2 and 3. Remember, I told you how when I got into the comic world, it influenced me. What happened with my story? I told the artist we had in the script say we have this big bad guy. That was his name, big bad guy. The artist came back and made this guy right here, the big bad guy. Now I never asked him to put a skull mask. I never asked him. That skull mask is so meaningful because it's part of our Filipino tribe. But he says, when you look at it as a skull with with the horns, it looks like a demon, but it's actually just the animal mask that we care about. But that all of a sudden made me think, wait, that's a costume. And then I went to San Diego Comic-Con and I saw cosplay. And I saw how it changed people and how people are so different inside than they are when they take the mask off. And I go, I'm going to tell that story. I want that story in my story. And let's research about the cult of cosplay. Because I'm talking about the cult of the blade, the spirituality, the meanings about the blade and everything else. And of course, the spirituality, because we know that the blade is telling the story because it's got a soul. But then when I saw the mask, I was influenced to look into that and put that in my comic series. Now, I'm bringing my knife world into the comic world and the comic world into my knife world.
Now, DM Ray wants to know if you'd like a review on the book.
So it'd be a review of like issue number 1.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. That's like kind of like
puts it out on his channel, and then people like basically he's telling people this is what you can expect, but he doesn't spoil the book.
Yeah, I mean, whatever needs to be done, we'll talk to Jeff. So here's the thing, right? Because I don't know how comic world works, but one of the things that was driving me crazy was as soon as it was out, I was asking my followers, have you read the comic book? And if you had, tell me, what do you see?
I talked about
tell
this on
me.
a
And
show,
they're like,
man.
this and that. No, you need to tell me because I want to know if my vision went to them. And guess what? Everybody had sort of, but not everybody had the Easter eggs or everybody had the story. And that got me fired up. We need to do a comic reading together. We need to go through everything. We need to tell, because like I said, there are so many lessons here, many life lessons, martial art lessons. The idea that we find shared experiences and all that. All of a sudden, it wasn't getting through. So I go, I have to be able to tell you. I have to be able to come out. That's why I'm doing all these podcasts. Because here's the thing that drove me crazy. You're not allowed to talk about the comic book a lot. I don't get it. The secrecy of it all. We're not allowed to do this. You can't give out so much. I'm like, when can we? Yeah. Well, it's all, there's a time and place. And I'm like, I'm going to explode.
So, I know. You got to have that first issue out there. But you need me to read it because I have a foot in both of your worlds. You know what I mean? I'm in comic books and I'm in martial arts. And so it's like, and I love Easter.
So here's the thing, right? We all have a common friend, Jeff. Jeff's my publicist. He's got digital copies of this that we can send out.
Jeff.
Talk to him. Talk to him. Get the reviews. And I'd love for you guys. You know what? If you need to review and you have a following, it's very important that you get in touch with Jeff. And Jeff, I'll tell Jeff, we need people to understand and review this. And this is it. This issue 1 is nothing more than setting the pace. I'm going to come out here and tell a little bit. After this, the brothers finally realized, okay, we have to go back to our past because apparently the things you're having a nightmare for aren't about the devil. There is no devil or demon in here. Our dad was killed by something and it apparently manifested here today. And it's just a man wearing a mask and he's got the blades and all this other stuff that leads to the cult that you don't want to know. What are we doing? So now they got to make the trip back home. And then things start to unravel. They start doing martial arts again. They meet their uncle, and their uncle who actually saved them and sent them away to a different country, so they'll be not part of this cult to save them. They came back. Why? Well, he can't argue when they throw the mask in front of him. He was like, "Where'd you get this?" "Oh, this came to get us." Do you still remember your training?" "Yes." "Good." He throws him a stick. "You'll need it." "Oh, wow." And they go train out bits and so the artist, I sent him pictures. My teachers are in this. My training grounds in the Philippines are in this because they need to get back to the martial arts. I was part of this. And things will start to unravel and things will start showing up. So it's a thriller, a whodunit, but it's also like a martial art thing, a journey. And this is just issue 2. Oh my gosh. Issue 3 and 4 are just gonna, and when I saw the artwork, you think this is good? Ha! Wait till you see more. And what I love about it is you have to outdo the first one. I'll guarantee you on the second one, we've already done it, but you haven't even seen the third word, and then the fourth word, all has to come into this. So yeah, as you can tell, I don't know if I've revealed already too much, I'll get in trouble, but I'm enjoying it.
No spoilers.
Maureen, did I tell you about still life? Did I tell you about the still life?
Yes, with the cow skull and the knife in the beginning, right? How the knife.
Yes, you see. So to me, that's one of the things I loved about this is the artwork alone.
Yeah.
But this whole series, and this is like when the artist told me this is a still life. Like when you're doing it and you have apples and oranges on the painting and everything else. Well, he goes, this is the still life, but I heard it as still alive.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at this. When you see something in red and black, that's the blade talking, right? But when you look at this, if I may be poetic for a second, because I put this together, right? With a little help from my friends. If only you could see through the edge of my existence. In the hands of a child, I danced through terror, yet felt the weight of shadows where hearts stood still. In the quiet moments, I longed to be heard, sharp as a blade. But a keeper of stories untold. In the hands of the brave, truth in the shadows dwell. Comes a tale where every blade has a story to tell. Mm-hmm. So if you look at this, it's the blade talking. But you see what's happening here? This is where if you watch the movie, you see somebody about to die. The blade is already gray. There's the skull that he was talking about. These two are the arts, what we call in back home as aninos, are our ancestors. Mm-hmm. But there's 2 of them. Are these the ancestors of the brothers? That's an urn of ashes there. Mm-hmm. Right here, you see a skull, but you also see a candle and its flame. So the blade is saying, while the flame is still burning, when it distinguishes, so will my soul and I die. But before I die, let me tell you my story. Comes and the blade, as you can see, all the stories and and right here, that's the tattoo in the Philippines. At first, when I looked at it this way, I thought it was a crocodile scale. No, it's sticks holding each other. See that? So it's basically lineage, family passing down, and there's the mark right there. And then he goes to the colored to the beginning of where it all started. So already in the artwork that the artist put together, it was amazing the way he did it. It's like we start from the beginning, but it is the end. But then before the blade will transfer its soul to another blade in another time, in another era for another book, it's got a story to tell right here. We look at the stories of the brothers, but we forget it's the blade that's telling the story. How unique is that?
That's awesome.
Folks, I'm telling you,
a question.
Join my journey.
I have a question for both of you. We have a show called Comics Across the Pond every Sunday morning where we read through a comic book. My co-host this week is not available. Would you be cool if Lori came out and read your first book? We did a read along of your first book.
Absolutely.
I love you guys. I have family obligations on Sunday that I cannot get out of. It's church related, so I have to be there.
Oh, no, fair enough, because I said, if this Sunday, I can't either. I already am doing something on Sundays.
Yeah, but it is something that I would definitely be interested in doing. I just can't do it this weekend, Pops.
It's something we can tape and put up anytime.
Okay.
But mainly it's having permission to do so. You see what I'm saying? If it's okay with you, we will put that together where Lori does a read along of issue 1 of Lineage.
Let's do it.
This is what I do, guys. This is what I do. You know,
I'm just gonna bring all my knives.
and Matthew and DM Ray, you guys are both in the Madness Facebook group. You can find each other, and you can make that happen.
Tell that fellow I'm interested. He says. You're funny, Ray.
This is what we do, though. We connect people that might not have known about each other before, and try to help people get seen, bounce audiences off each other, and everybody grows. Man, that's the plan. That's what we do.
I'm in. Anything I can do to facilitate, if I just need some approval, please do, because I am very interested in what others are saying. Like I said, I know the story, so I'm very confident in it. I just want to make sure that people also get to share in my excitement. What I love about comic books are, it's something that we can all share and see different ways. It's being a witness to each other's stories.
Yes. You know, that's so awesome that you say that, because I feel that way about the indie community. Every time I have someone on my show that's been on before, I'm just like, now it's time for us to catch up and see what you've accomplished since the last time we were together. And we get to just hang out and, like you said, witness each other's journey in comics, and we grow together. And it's so important to do that in martial arts. And then, like you said, with family and friends and all of that, just to be there and be supportive and see people as they continue their journey. That's really insightful.
Yeah.
And everybody, build a lineage. Have something to leave behind for your people to know you and remember you and talk about you after you're gone.
Yeah, this is something that I invite all comic books enthusiasts, if you're not able to write. And here's the thing. There's only so much of the Lineage books that I'm going to be able to write. When I'm gone, if you're part of the community from this Kickstarter, you may be asked to carry it on. Or your descendants who are part of it will be asked to carry it on. My story will only go so far. After that, who's going to pick it up and continue? My story is not limited to just my story. Every blade has a story to tell.
And that's one thing that I want the madness to outlive me. I want this thing that I'm building to continue after I'm gone. Somebody else to take up the reins and to keep promoting and keep pushing others to promote each other and to keep making this thing grow. I don't want it to end when I end. I ain't putting all this work in for that. You know?
Yeah.
And sure you
Once
guys
again, Lineage.
You know, you're not putting all this work in for you to be forgotten the day you're gone. You know? So help each other, promote each other, love each other, do all that stuff, you know, because we got to grow. Everybody's got to grow. If you haven't backed this book, go check it out. Where's my link? I got the link in the description. Hold on. Let me get it up here.
Go put it in the chat.
I'm talking twice. Hush. Hush, posh. All right. Get this thing. I opened up another window and started talking to myself. It was amazing. Did y'all hear it? Here we go. The link for Lineage right here on all the different places. Go check it out. Guys.
I'll drop it too, because people are over on my channel as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
This is really good. You're not going to want to miss
No,
this.
it won't let me.
What do you mean it won't let you?
Because I don't have admin, so it's grayed out. I'll just go to Facebook and do it.
It's one of those things. You got to go to your Facebook.
Yeah. Jump through the hoops. I'll do it.
I love it. Doug.
Yep.
This says conclusion.
Yeah.
But your journey isn't over. Do you got more comics planned?
Oh, yeah. This is the conclusion of book 1. So Lineage, book 1 is about my culture, my experience, bringing back because I want to write about what I know. So that's why it's very Filipino-centric on that, to tell the story of that. But once again, when you realize it's about the blade talking, the blade dies. And when the blade dies, its soul will be reincarnated into another blade. in another era, in another time. And then it will tell a new story. That will be book 2. Book 1 is the Brotherhood of the Blade. Book 2, I can't reveal that yet, but it is going to be on another blade in a different culture, a different time. It'll have a different story to tell. You see, blades in my series of Lineage are nothing more than witnesses to what's going on. It is neither good or evil. What makes it good or bad, just like my experience about facing my fears, was who the user was, what they did with the blade. So the blade is just telling a story.
So now the first 50 backers get this red spot foil variant of issue 1, and there's only a few of those left, guys.
Yeah, well, what are we at? 44? So we need 6 people to join. I'll guarantee you, folks, I was telling Kid Heroes, look, if you get the comic book and if you don't like it, you'll get your money back. They go, that's not a good way to do business. But I'll guarantee you that's how good it is. So, but once again, you get something for something, right? But forever you will be ingrained in this. I don't want to say, it's not, this was meant to be a TV show always. It wasn't meant to be a comic book. But because of the things that happened, but it's getting there. Now I got to finish it to make it into a series. So imagine this, if you're a part of that, get your name in there for the franchising of something that's going to be that well done, because I do have that dream. But there's something to be said about things that are pure in its comic book versions, because you never know what happens when it hits the screen. There are so many great stories out there that the minute it became a TV show or something was lost in translation.
Yes.
But in comic book, it's the way you look at it, it's the way you appreciate it, it's the way you interpret it that makes it special. But if your name's on it and it continues to be a great series, it's your Lineage.
I got something to say. So once the book is done and the trade paperback is out there, what are you doing? Don't make me big. What are you doing? I know I'm on my soapbox. Don't do that. No, I'm just saying, like, once it's out there in the world and people can read it and you're going to pitch it to a studio, you should attach the fight scenes that you've been recording for your artists. Be like, and this is what it would really look like. You know what I mean? Like, that would be golden. Those
yeah. So not only that, I am recording my artist telling me what he wrote, what inspired him, the pictures, the stories, the Easter eggs, my training with my brother, everything. Oh, I keep everything, because that is a behind the scenes that my followers love about what I do. That's awesome. Right? Because imagine when you look at things and you say, I want to tell you how this design came to be.
Yeah.
Inspiration of this. Actually, hold on.
I want one of those tomahawks, by the way.
I didn't bring it here. But I mean, why is it forward? Why isn't it rounded like other masks? Well, because of the beard's an issue. One of the things I hated about when we were doing tomahawks or axes on Fortune Fires, every strike I go, hold on, let me get it out of there. Then I continue on. Oh man, frustrating. I need something for multiple attacks. So the design of this, how it came to be, it's one of the West. Why is it on the show? And what did my artists do to make it fit the story? Oh man. Yeah, these guys are made up too. Like, hey man, I actually got some makeup on. You too? I look different. I look cool. How about you? Do you wear makeup on the show? Well, sometimes I have to wear clothes too. Yeah, but we did. And wait till you see us.
Do that again. Make them talk to each other again.
Yeah, like, work on your ventriloquism there, Doug.
All these guys were like, hey, little do you know that we are making our cameo, but you should see what I was wearing. Oh, no, you should see what I wear. Yeah, we were, for what we had to do, you should wait to see the way they dress us up to make us fit our characters. I look good. No, I look better.
It gets better the longer you talk about it, bro. I just want to say that. It gets better the more you talk about it. There's time left, guys. There's plenty of time left. But there's only 6 of those red spot variants. There's only 6 of those. So you might want to get a pledge in here real quick. I'm just saying.
I'm already in, so come along. Then we could read together and experience.
Yeah. Oh, man. Just okay, let's see if we got another. Oh, but you don't have it yet, right?
No, I don't have it yet.
Yeah. Because some of the Easter eggs that he leaves in here are so subtle. And So issue 2, actually, that's why one of the things as it becomes our thing, and you talk to the writers. I went in and I told the guys, I want every one of you to write something special about you and send it to the artist. I want him to put stuff about you in there. Later on, as we go to book 2, book 3, I'm going to get the people who are part of this to put something of themselves in there too. Why not? Where's Waldo?
Dude,
Do that.
I'm serious. I love this. I love this whole concept. I wish Jeff would have shown you to me about 3 years ago, and I'd probably caught number 1.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if
I have to ask this question.
On the last one, I don't know if he was.
Issue number 1. Is it available?
Which one? Issue number 1? Yes.
Yes.
Issue 1 and issue 2. So issue 2 is being made. Issue 2, 3, and 4 are being made. Issue 2 is going to be done, I think, end of March, end of this month. Issue 2 will be out. But issue 1 is already, it's available on Kid Heroes. With the Kickstarter, there are what they call add-ons. So there are options there to where you can get the first issue also, the first issue with this.
Yeah, that's what we're getting at. Somebody come get the whole story. That's the gist of it. You got to be able to. For me, I'm a number 1 guy, and you know, if I like it, then I buy I keep going with it, right? Yeah. And if it's not my thing or whatever, I still got number 1 in case it turns out to be the Turtles.
Yeah.
Right. You know,
right.
I mean, you got to play both. You got to play your cards, man. You got to play them all, right? Man, I love this. This is amazing. Doug, this thing ends in 11 days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's going to be the after party. Okay. We get to with funded and we're happy, right? And you're getting ready to print these things. I want to have you back out. So
absolutely.
Let Jeff know I'm gonna want to have you back out after this is all over, so we can talk to you about the relief stage.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll be back.
That right now, you're halfway through, and you're 11 days, and you're like, "Come on, man, we need funding." Everybody back this book. Everybody, get on board. This is one like he said. This one, he's gonna do his part to immortalize you by make. I love the "Where's Waldo" thing. Can you imagine if he's got one big double page spread and me and Lori and everybody are all hidden in it somewhere?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? This is
only if I get double tomahawks. That's what I'm saying. And they're like,
they're different sizes too, right?
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, because you have to also have the short version.
Right. I need the girly ones. I don't want them pink or anything like that.
Oh no, it's for close quarter and concealment for purposes.
I want just because my hands are smaller,
I think you should have her sparring with Jeff down in the corner of the page. Sparring with
Jeff. He would never survive me. Who knows this? Not Jeff Davidson, Jeff Haas. That's what we're talking about, right? I would never say that about Jeff Davidson. Again, he is one of the most lethal people I know. So
you see, that's what I'm talking about. You and your sensei.
Oh no. I don't want to fight him. No. It's like, no. I thought we were talking about Jeff Haas. I would never claim that about Jeff Davidson. No. I value my life.
It's a comic.
No. Don't put me next to that man. He's dangerous. His spirit will get me.
I hope he watches this. I really do. Jeff, if you're watching, thank you for creating this right here, because she's awesome. A very valued member of our community, Madness. She runs a great show.
He taught so many of us. You know what I mean? To him, I'm another student, but he's so important to me because he was my very first teacher.
Right.
And so
we're talking about Jeff Haas.
No, I'm talking about Jeff Davidson.
Oh, Jeff Davidson. Got it.
Yeah, he was my very first teacher, because I was like, he probably doesn't remember me because I was there from like 1997 to maybe 2001. So not even.
He should remember you.
4 years.
That long, yeah.
But I mean, that was a while ago. Again, and it was at the school he doesn't remember. So that's when. But again, like I said, like there were so many of us that came to this school that he spent time with as student teacher, but he was so important to me because that's where my roots. That's where I started. That's what all my basics look like. You know what I mean? Is sparring with Jeff and getting punched in the face repeatedly.
So I didn't know Jeff then, right? You didn't know of me then.
I don't think so. Maybe.
Yeah, because once I joined, I met everyone from the group because we were part of a forum before I met him face to face.
What year was that you joined? Because the pictures that are on Jeff Davidson's Facebook page, like Dean, I know a lot of those guys that you were training with, but I had already gone to college and I was out of the picture. But
yeah,
with kind of like Carlos and like there's a ton.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Well, when did he switch to Filipino martial arts?
Well, I mean, like he taught Kali while I was there. Because it was first Penchak Silat for the open hands, and then it was always Kali for the all the
weapons, right?
Weapons. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, because once you find out he was Paquita Tertia, you would know because he took on that identity, and that's how we got together.
Pendecker Sanders, because there was a point where he was following Pendecker Sanders, and I was there during that time.
Okay, yeah, no. By the time I got to him, he had left Sanders.
Okay, so I was there during the Sanders time. So yeah, I was there right before you.
Yeah, so he left that.
Darn.
I was just sitting here going,
at a seminar, and we didn't even know it. Like,
I was just waiting for you guys to find out that there's footage of you guys actually sparring. That's what I was waiting for.
Probably me getting my butt whooped by Doug. That's
nah.
Yeah,
I was the one that Jeff always put the meatheads, like the new guys. He was like, "You're gonna go train with this girl." They were always mad because they had to train with me, and then I just them up.
Very cool.
They'd leave and they wouldn't come back. Oh well.
Lori would beat people up. That's why we love Lori. She's a murder hobo in our RPG stream, Doug. She's one of us. She goes out and you know.
No. This is a you guys thing. It's all the guys. I'm in the background with the Band-Aids patching you guys up whenever you're done. Yeah.
That's what she turned into. When she started this, she was a murder hobo right along with the rest of us, throwing Karen to the worm and everything, right?
Me?
She did try to sacrifice Karen to the worm. I remember that.
I did try to sacrifice other people.
We have so much fun on this network, Doug, and I'm so glad that we got to meet you, man, and you are welcome anytime you got something to talk about.
Well, let's definitely set it up, ahead of time so we can market it. I mean, tell everybody we'll be here, invite everyone, and we'll do that. It'll be great.
Jeff hit Lori.
And Lori, get with Jeff to see if you can do a review, or Ray, or whoever.
Ray's gonna do the review. I would love to do the live reading of the issue 1. That would be all
right, Ray, reach out. The network.
Ray's great. Ray will do. He's done a ton of reviews for me for Path of the Pale Rider, and he always does an excellent job.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. We got a good crew. We got a good crew in the match. And a lot of.
I look forward to it.
We're gonna get your writers out here in a couple weeks on a Monday Madness. We're going to be talking to them. So we'll be talking a little bit more about Lineage. That's why I saved a little bit of this for them.
I'm sorry, you keep cracking me up the way you say it. It must be a Minnesota thing.
Lineage. It might be a no teeth thing.
Oh, it could be that. Lineage. I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's a no teeth thing. Okay?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you on blast.
What's up, Billy Power Max? Welcome. Billy also has a book coming out real soon. Bad Moon Rising. So watch out for that. Lori, tell Karen it's got werewolves.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah,
no, we're not bringing out Karen in front of Doug. We're not doing that. I already
did. You didn't see how the show started, did you? You?
I'm starting to have an idea who Karen is.
No.
Yeah. We showed him. We showed him right at the beginning.
And I apologize for putting you on blast, and you put me on blast at the beginning of the show. How dare you?
I had to explain to Doug. I had to tell him. We talked about Karen. This is Karen.
You were not
did the old intro. The old intro. I don't know why.
I wanted Doug to think I was normal.
and this, if this doesn't say normal, nothing does.
Don't
exactly, right?
Come on.
All the hats that we wear.
Don't push the button. I swear to God.
I can push the one with you and Mr. Freak.
No.
No.
Don't.
We have history, though. That's all.
Okay.
We have history. We have a great crew. We really do. Some awesome people in the network. Lori, when I met Lori, she was just starting in the Path of the Pale Rider.
Brand new.
Just starting, and it was like, man, this looks really good. And the concept was blow me away good, right? I mean, it's still to this day, there's questions, lots of questions about what's going on in her story. And it keeps people coming back because you ain't got no answers yet, you know?
Some of them.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
We answered enough to keep people reading. Let's just put it that way. But then we
yes, but you keep enough under wraps to keep people coming back to find out. You see, she has crafted the story well, okay? But then she became, you know, a part of the network. She'd come out on shows. She'd be on everybody's show. And finally I was like, man, I have this show on Tuesday morning, and it's all these guys just talking over each other. And the only time they would shut up is when Lori was talking.
We're like when I was threatening them. That's what it was. I was like,
so I told Lori one day, I was like, man, do you want to take over this show? You know, and she's like, well, I'm going to do it my way. I said, good. Do whatever you want with it. Here, it's yours. I'm done. You know, it's like, and it was one of the best things I've done in this network.
Nice.
You know? It was like being able to take something that was mine and I'm responsible for and go, I think you'd do a better job at this. And to give it away to somebody else with no, you know, no.
That feels good too.
Lineage.
To have a protege to be able to share, right? And see how it grows.
Yeah.
And she's blown it up, dude. She's almost 200 episodes. She's
Wow.
almost 200 episodes of the Tuesday Morning Group. We're coming up on that, guys, like next month or April or something like that. Yeah. Coming up.
I already gave away stuff at the 200th episode, though. I gotta pick which one I do it on. I don't.
No, it's your 200th episode as a host is more important than the show's 200th episode.
Yeah, I gotta give away more
The
stuff.
first
Then.
35 were me. They sucked. They don't matter. It's just since you took over that the show's good, right? I'm no dummy. Someday I'm gonna give away Monday Madness too. You just watch. Hey Doug, you want to host the show?
Yeah, he's a little busy.
But you never know. You can pop in and out all the time. I can always pop in and out.
That's awesome.
Yes,
and
today
love
is
for you to do
today,
that.
right? Thank you.
That's awesome. Well, I got a heart out because I gotta get up early this morning. So
I've been
thank you for this.
And for about 20 minutes, but
I know you gotta let this man go. He works so hard. Let him go.
yeah.
No, I'll be back. We'll definitely. I love this. We'll do it. We'll do this again. We'll set it up ahead of time so that way it's much easier to get the time on.
Thank you so much for giving
Oh,
us
my pleasure.
some of your time, man, for sure. We appreciate it. And for those of you in the chat, thank you guys for being in here, for dropping questions, for being part of what we do. We appreciate you. Don't forget when you pop over into the madness and you drop the link to your book, make sure you share out somebody else's. Share out somebody else's, man. Just, you know, do the thing. Do the thing we all try to do. Look at this. That's my business partner right there. That's my dude, the Cosmic Grandpa. There you go. Dude,
Awesome.
It's what we're trying to do, Cos. We're trying to make it action. We're trying to make it all action. We hope you enjoyed this show. Catch it on the replay. If you didn't, a couple days, it'll be up on Roku, and you can catch it there on the big screen, whatever you want. You know. Doug.
Thank you again, folks. Thanks for the opportunity. And again, I love that we're sharing everything, share each other, be witnesses to each other's activities and accomplishments. And join me on our lineage. We have stuff to pass down. Can't take it with you, so leave it behind for others to shine.
Love
Hey,
it.
that rhymes. I like that.
I know. I was like, ooh.
All right.
Lori, give us your words, Lori. Give them to us.
Huh?
Give us your words.
Oh, my words? Be excellent to each other and kiss your babies. And we'll see you here again on the Menace Special Edition. I don't know. It's not the Tuesday
everywhere on the network. We'll see.
On the network. Menace Network. Come join us for whatever's next.
If you missed the live viewing of any Meg production, you can find all our content on Roku or as a member of this channel. Madness Entertainment Group.